Greetings! Hello, fellow builders. It is I, Torondor the Builder, and we're back here in Medieval Engineers, land of, well, many things, most of which haven't been built yet. So, come, join me, and I shall show you how to do many new things. Hello, builders. It is Torondor the Builder, back again, and today we're going to go and get into the less creative side of things. We're going to go and see just how we can go and get some resources in this game, because obviously we can't exactly go and start doing things in survival and building things in survival if we don't have resources. Now, just so you know, or so you can see, let's go here to number one. Number one is a big block. Number one is a big stone block cube. Now, if you look underneath that, it says the parts required are 20 large stone and 10 scraps of wood. So in order to make one stone block cube, just one, we have to have 20 large stone and 10 scrap wood. Now, as another example, here's a wooden wall. That requires 10 timber, or sorry, it requires 2 timber length 10 pieces and 4 scraps of wood. So, that's just 2 examples of the materials that are required. Even things like wooden barrels require 1 timber 10 in order to build it in survival. Now, obviously, I am still in creative, so I can still place and do and move and things like that. Now, just so you can see, number 5, here is a, oops, let's go to, there we are, now we can see it. This is a stone, and if I use the mouse wheel, I can switch between small stone and large stone. Okay, and then in addition, I have log that has it requires 20 wood, but other than that, it is an entity in and of itself. It does not have you cannot rotate the mouse button and get different pieces. And then you have things like scrap wood. Now, scrap wood is just that. It is scrap wood. Now, it does have 2 different types. It has scrap wood and it has scrap wood branches. Now, I would imagine that when it comes time to put different roof shingles and things like that, they might have you use scrap wood branches. Otherwise, right now, they probably just have you use scrap wood. So, anyway, that's what we're looking to get. Now, the question is, how do we get that? Well, let's go and find out. First of all, as you can see here in this toolbar number 2, here are some of the tools that we'll be using. Number 1 is the torch. Obviously, it's always daytime here in Fantasyland, so we don't have to worry about really using a torch, but obviously, if it were dark, we would probably have to do that. Then we have our grasping tool. That's number 2, and I really hate that the torch does not want to go away when I do that. That, I think, is a glitch. Number 3 is the building hammer, or the deconstruction head. That is the building hammer. This is what you have to have out when you're trying to build in survival. Obviously, we will not have to use that today. Number 4 is the deconstructor hammer. That's what you have to bash things with when you're in survival to break them down and get some resources from them. And I don't mean, I'm talking about something you've already built, like if I was to tear down one of those towers over there. Now, 5 and 6 are, well, sorry, let's skip over 5 and 6 for a moment. Number 7, where'd I go? Hello? Oh, wow, I'm way up here. Sorry. Number 7 is the mace. Now, as you can see, that's my weapon, and that I will use to fight barbarians at a later time. But for now, we're going to focus on the axe and the pick, because those are what we're going to use to get stuff done. So first things first, we're going to go and use the axe. Now, one of the things that they have added in in the game since is growing flora and fauna and things like that. So as you can see, not all the trees are the same height. You have some of these little trees, etc., etc. In addition, as I move along, you'll see that periodically little things on the ground will be highlighted. At least they're supposed to be. Ah, there we go. Those are mushrooms. Alright, so we'll get to those as well. But in the meantime, we're going to pick us out a nice juicy tree. How about this guy right here? Alright, we're going to take our axe in hand. We're going to put our little dot on it. We do have to be reasonably close. We're going to left click. Now you hear that big thunk? Timber! And yes, as you can see, look. Ooh, bonus. Bonus, we knocked off some branches over here as well. See that? Yeah, we've knocked off a great big chunk out of it. So, now once we have the tree chopped down, unlike Minecraft, that's not the end of it, because we cannot go and grab our manipulating arms and grab this tree. It is just too big. See, I can try, but it really doesn't want to let me do what I want to do to it. So, what that means is we got to cut it up some more. So, let's do that. Let's come over here with our axe and chop the tree. 1. Ooh, there's a big chunk. And 2. Ooh, now look. Now, if you notice, these are starting to look more and more like the logs that we had before. So, let's try hitting it one more time. Oh, darn, I guess I hit it too much. Now it is scrap wood, and all the little bits and pieces are all over the place. There we go, more scrap wood. Yeah, see, now we've got, in addition to the log, we've got all these branches up here. So, as you can see, all you have to do is basically take your piece, oops, take your axe, your piece, and use it to chop the tree up into different pieces. Now, the only other problem that you're going to have is, if you recall, you can't simply put all this in your pockets. You actually have to go and gather it and put it in a place where you can use. Now, something that is new, whoops, oh wow, look at that. I guess I can, can I carry some more? Oh, look at that. Well, no, I know it's a little hard to tell exactly what I've got hold of and what I don't. But needless to say, if I were in survival and went to build something and had enough things in the radius that I was building, within a certain radius, then it would actually allow me to build that. If I did not have it within the radius, for example, let's say I needed this log over here, well, I would have to go grab the log and bring it over closer to the staging area and lay it down. Now I could build whatever it was over here that I was going to build that needed that log. Alright, so, hello? Is that a deer? Or is that just a log rolling down the hill? I don't know, it's hard for me to say. Anyway, okay, so that is something that we need to keep in mind, is that we need to gather tools. Now, just recently added, just in the past 2 days, is the I key, the inventory function. Now, here I am, Carbunculus, that's my guy. I've got 1 pickaxe, 2 pickaxes, 2 axes, a hammer, a mace, and a torch. And this also shows me just how much volume I have and how much mass I'm carrying. Now, I assume that that is all kind of put together and that there will be limits to how much mass I can carry, how much volume I can carry. In addition, this also shows any surrounding inventories. Like, here, I'll give you a good example. Let's go back here to the barrel. The barrel is a storage unit. Okay, so and we'll go back there and go to manipulation tool. Now if I hit I, as you can see over here on this side, in addition, I have a wooden barrel. It can, now obviously The barrel can only hold 563 liters, I presume. I can hold 100,000 liters. I'm not quite sure that I agree with that, but obviously, I guess there's a limit to what they can actually have you doing. So let's see if we can't come up here and now I'm going to hold this in my hands and hit I. Now, as you can see, that material does not show up in my inventory. So let's see if we can't get it in here. I am trying to get it into there. That's interesting. He keeps going down and to the side, and I'm not exactly sure what that means. But obviously, at the moment, I have to figure out how to go and get them into the wooden barrels. But in the meantime, we can just go and have them gather at one particular place. Now, before I go and grab mining, I wanted to show you one other thing. Now, they have added roots, berries, and fungi, mushrooms. And if you happen to highlight one of those items and press T, it will gather those elements. In this case, this is a fruit bush. And as I go through, let's see if I can get some more. And, oh, no, it's just a shrubbery. It's just a good shrubbery. Ah, there's more mushrooms. Okay, now if I hit I, as you can see, I now have one root and one berry and 3 mushrooms. And not only that, I ate those 3 mushrooms, and I'm going to eat that root, and I'm going to eat that berry. Now, presumably, that as they continue to improve this and add more features, that will enable you to regen health or grow stronger, etc., etc. So those are things we'll have to wait and see as time goes by. Presumably also, as the time goes on and we have maybe some bows and arrows, we'll be able to hunt those deer that were in the previous episode, and then we can get some meat off of that. So anyway, all right. So now you know how to collect wood. You know how to collect food. Oops, wait a minute. Where's my food? There we are. Well, we'll save that for a snack for later. So now let's say, well, let's say we don't trip over our own feet. Now, obviously, in order to find stone, what you need to do is come over to a place that happens to have stone. I'm going to go up here on this ridge here because I don't want it to be too awkward, and we're going to go grab our pickaxe and do the same thing. 2, 3. Oh, there we go. So not only do I now have 3 stones, which obviously I can try to roll down the hill. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Obviously, I can go and pick these guys up. And come on, you're the last one. There we are. It's a little difficult, a little tricky to pick things up still. But as you also noticed, I have made this little hollow now. So let's go ahead and... Hey, look at that. Now I got a little bit more. And you can continue to do this, gentlemen. Now you obviously have to be careful. That might be the end. There we go. Now I don't know exactly what limits there are on this. I presume I will always be able to climb out. And I also don't know at what point it will stop tearing down the wall above me, or sorry, the rock above me, and we'll actually start making... See, now I'm starting to get into a slightly shaded area. But let's see if we can. I'm trying to go in. I'm trying to... There we go. Now I've started to go and get into like a tunnel situation. That might be a little too difficult to do. It might be also the equivalent of bedrock in Minecraft. There is a limit to where the bottom of this world is, if you will. There you go. Yeah, now we're talking. All right. Now I don't know for sure if any of these rocks, if they fall on you, if they can hurt you, uh, or anything like that. And I think the sound effects might be kind of key. Let's see if we can go one more. Alright, well as you can see, I am able to dig into the rock. Okay, I have built myself a cave. Now unfortunately, most of us like to build. And we don't really want to spend all our time gathering stuff. Now, I know we do it in Minecraft and things like that, but it's a little easier in Minecraft. For one thing, you don't have to carry these things down piece by piece. And obviously, I could go over there and grab my cart and bring it over here and pile this rock in here. But as we saw, that's a little bit tricky. So, enter the minions.
It's not my fault being the biggest and the strongest. I don't even exercise.